Hello, all of you delightful beings out there, and welcome to the stream. I am Zim, and this is Lost in Chaos Scar, Squirrel's Adventures, What If number 15, A Merchant Returns. This is one of our Pokemon tabletop RPG campaigns being run with our custom SCAR system, or Stories and Creatures in Alternate Realities. This in particular is exploring what-if scenarios of how the story could have gone differently for Squirrel while he was away from the main party. We shall begin, as usual, with introductions. Beginning with Enja. Also, Pyro, update your icon.
Hello and good day, everyone. I am your storyteller for this evening, Enja Lumerias. I play the allies, I play the enemies, and I orchestrate all manner of events that will be following everyone as you see them. But for now, I shall pass it over to Aquarelle.
Hello, y'all. I am IDDoThings, or Ido if you prefer, and I'll be playing Aquarelle, the Water Dark Hisuian Samurai, and the overly serious member of the party. On to Elva.
Hello, everybody. I'm Raharu, and I'll be playing Elvaroda, or Elva for short, the water ground type Quagsire, and bookworm of the party. On to you, Gimund.
Hi, I'm Gimund, and I'm playing Pyroclast, the sometimes ghost, sometimes dark, fire Charmeleon. Currently in this, he is Ghostfire. Onto the Zim, also typical.
Yes, thank you. Hello everybody, I am Zim, and I am playing a Squirrel, the dragon fighting type Riolu, and embodiment of ADHD. Go ahead, Verdant.
Hello, I'm Drunk Dragonair, and I'll be playing Verdant, the fire psychic type Charizard, and the dad of the party, and or the idiot of the party. Probably both. Is this the current tip call?
No, I'm working on it right now.
Also, feel free to come by my channel tomorrow or Saturday, because that's when we're doing Recallers of the Lost with Zim in attendance. And then feel free to come back to my channel on Sunday, where you get to watch me and Enja and Raharu suffer.
Indeed.
That's on Sundays.
Raharu is the main character in that one.
Indeed.
Yes, so he is.
Gimund underscore tipped $10. Tradition.
We'll just give it a couple of minutes before we get to the recap, everybody. As I just see 4 tips pop up in chat.
A generous bestowal.
We were all ready.
$15. I typed Zim is into Google and autofill suggested Zim is cute.
Nice, Rdyjin.
Fair enough.
A generous bestowal.
Drunk underscore dragon underscore era tipped $15. Tradition, not early, not late, but Zim is cute Razim blep.
A generous bestowal.
Raharu 95 tipped $15. Noted it.
Okay, I think... Oh, wait, no, there's still another one.
Another one.
You all! I swear.
Do you want us to stop giving you money?
No.
IDDoThings tipped $20. A traditional tip Razim loves.
Thank you all so much for those tips. Thank you for
Gracious
helping
and
out
goodness
so
me.
much. Well, that is the first 3 tiers of the tip goal completed. Thank you all 5 of you so much. I really appreciate it. And I'll go down the list. Gimund, Rdyjin, Era, Raharu, and Ido. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
So yeah, now recap. Pyro, go for it since you're wanting to bring out the Void Parasite.
I don't remember the beginning too well, but
Twas the episode where you interrogated Edge extensively.
yeah, I don't remember the beginning of it much because of the later parts.
Understandable.
I remember that Aquarelle had left to get a book. Oh, right, it was
There what?
Aquarelle. It started out with Aquarelle going outside. Everyone was turning in and for the night, but Aquarelle went outside to speak with Noah a bit. And after he and Shia had previously reprimanded him for yeeting Inglap into the stratosphere.
Yeah. Then Squirrel did morning exercises, but this time Verdant was not a mandatory yeah.
Participant.
Yee. And Pyroclast was up practicing his sword training, figuring out what he could use in the environment. Sort of like to his advantage. Turns out, not his usual stuff.
Gleaming endowment.
Merle
Hey.
underscore 2009 tip $25. I like to interrupt.
Oh.
Zim is cute. That is all.
Merle. Thank you so much for that tip.
Understandable.
is-
Have a nice day.
That is the tip goal fully completed. You're all
Hooray.
crazy. Thank you.
And yes, after Pyroclast sort of analyzed the surroundings, he realized he couldn't do his normal tricks here. However, it seems there is a fog in the morning, so he decided to just practice utilizing that and double team together. And after that, he started thinking about the things he had learned after the rocket incident, let's just say. And decided to ask Edge some things. And after mentioning about the cult called Shadow Hearts, turns out Edge revealed that turns out there may have been Pokemon who invaded their world. And Pyroclast sort of went like, okay.
Well,
And
it was really hard to determine because he says that looking back on it, some of those look like moves, but then again, you could never see them because of the robes.
yeah. And Pyroclast sort of overreacting due to fire type things, decided, let's just do the most unpleasant thing to Edge. A mass social gathering. To try and interrogate him. And from there, some other stuff was learned. However, not much more than was already known about, really. Except maybe, some things about the portal. And then, the void parasite thing got brought up. And, Scroll sort of, got told a little bit about it from Pyro's brief experience with it, and Elba telling him about it. And yeah. I think that's pretty much it.
And now Squirrel Parasite.
Yeah. Pyroclast is trying to trigger a hopefully good memory. Whether it is a good memory remains to be seen.
Squirrels are good at die. And it's all Pyroclast's fault. So yeah, where do we want to start then, Enja?
Well, I believe that Pyro had thought of some other things that he wanted to do, so Pyro and Edge.
Well, that was later.
Ah, never mind then.
All right.
So, I believe that have people dispersed after gaining this information?
No, I think we were all waiting for the parasite to trigger.
Ah, yes. So yes, Pyro was intentionally trying to trigger his memory, and everyone was on a standby.
Yep. If there's still time, Aquarelle might have a hindsight 2020 moment and suggest as they go outside before they wreck any more if she is home.
I mean, thankfully, we're all outside.
Oh, we're already outside?
Yeah, I thought we were outside this entire time.
We went outside to interrogate Edge.
Okay, I didn't remember that.
Like a distance. Just in case he tried funny things, then you could inflict all manner of violence on him.
So... Oh boy. Want to ask your question again?
I believe it was, do you remember anything about blacksmithing? And after that, did you ever show your creations to anyone or something along those lines?
Okay. Well, I kinda... It's a bit foggy, but, I remember having a bag that wouldn't stay on. It kept ripping off. So I made this thing of... basically, chainmail to keep it on. And, a teacher, somebody, saw it and helped me learn blacksmithing after that. He was impressed by it.
Do you remember anything specific about the teacher?
Not about the teacher, I just know that he had this big forge in his yard? His backyard. And he took me there and showed me how to do a lot of this stuff.
What was your favorite part of that process?
The learning. I liked learning everything I could about it. And making stuff out of it all. He was kind of the first person to recognize anything I did.
Do you remember their name?
He shakes his head. Enja?
Yep.
I'm echoing off of someone. Go ahead.
Well, I will be the one to let you decide when the trigger is, or the correct trigger is found, then I shall be taking it over from there.
Oh, I think that's probably good.
Hmm?
Just the fact that he finally got recognized for something that he did. And then
Yep.
helped to be better at it.
Fair enough, then. Now, this shadow is taking on an interesting form because this one is twisting in on itself. It seems to be a line of chains? No, they're not quite chains. They're too thin and the shape is odd, but before you can focus on it for too long, it changes into a person? No, it's changed into a small storm of papers. Someone is going to have to attack fairly quickly before this thing starts sticking around for too long and maybe just being able to decide on a shape.
Well, what was the types needed again? And I know it's something Scroll would be weak to, right?
Yes. Fairy
Okay, then.
Dragon
is a
fairy.
good catch-all, and dragon and ice, I believe.
So nothing for his fighting type.
Probably. No, which one?
Fairy and psychic. type
Yes.
was
Flying and psychic would also be good.
Okay.
He's 4 times weak to fairy, otherwise flying, psychic, ice, and dragon.
All right.
Ooh.
Well, if nothing else, Aquarelle will have Psycho Cut prepared.
I can do a full round Dragon Tail on it.
Slipping away.
Okay, let me just.
Thank you for that follow, Read for Life.
Ooh.
Okay. This is increased fruit.
I'm gonna soul one of those ones. Actually, no, I'm just gonna willpower it. Because icky.
Hey, Enja, we're hearing the game audio and stuff through your mic. Like Fantasy
Noted.
Grounds.
Here, I'm gonna abuse the tower.
I think that was 9 for Psycho Cut.
Tell me if I need to reroll anything, Enja.
No, you did quite well. My god. Alright, Verdant, give me 2 more dice.
The power of the tower.
Yeah, that'll do it. Certainly, between the two of you, you demolish the shadow. And memories do begin to return to Squirrel. Very, very good ones, actually. A nice and pleasant change of pace, as you recall why you got into smithing and the fundamental lead up as to how you got recognized for your intuition. Shall I go through it, or would you like to read your memory?
I mean, that's just the basic outline of it. If you want to expand on that, go for it.
It is Squirrel's memories, so you could embellish where you believe it's suitable.
Well, that was basically about it. He remembers having the backpack strap.
Rank up. Hold the line. This hamlet shall not fall.
Apparently-
He raided my stream with 16 viewers.
Apparently, he remembers somebody raiding his village, his hamlet, and standing the line. Hello there, Keatsuke. How are ya? How was your stream? Hello there, Simigui. Welcome in, everybody. I hope I said your name right, by the way, Simigui. But welcome in, everybody. I am Razim. You guys have come into the start of our Lost in Chaos Scar campaign. This is a side game to the main one. But yeah, thank you so much for that raid. You made good progress in strawberry jam. Well, I mean, I'm glad your cooking went well then. Hope it
Thanks.
turns out tasty. I'm assuming there's a game called that, but I am not familiar with it. But yeah, you guys have come into the start of this. Thank you so much for that raid. Everybody go check out Keatsuke. Oh, it's the Celeste mod. Oh, right. The thing where you guys make yourselves suffer for some reason. I will never understand it. But either way, yeah. I watched you play that and you made zero progress. You sat there repeating it over and over and over. I'm pretty sure that is the definition of insanity.
Maybe you should try again just to make sure it is.
Fair enough, Keatsuke. Fair enough. But yeah, thank you so much for sharing your community with me. Thank you for the raid. Welcome in, everybody. Settle on in. I will be in the chat from here, because, you know, this is a tabletop game, so I don't talk to the chat too much, or on voice anyways, but yeah, thank you. Where were we?
No, we were going. Squirrel was going over his memory.
Right. So Squirrel is remembering that he had just started college. He had an issue with his backpack strap constantly falling off. Even before he became a Riolu, he was very active and energetic. And yeah, the backpack could not handle that. He basically made chainmail out of paper clips, ran it through the original strap and into the backpack, holding it in there with the, you know, metal instead of just string and thread. It was noisy, but it was very effective. One of his professors, history professor, noticed it, and some of the other decorative knickknacks that Squirrel had on his bag that he'd made out of various bits of metal, and decided to help Squirrel learn how to smith properly. The professor had a forge at his home, and basically made Squirrel an apprentice. It was how Squirrel primarily paid for his college and food and whatnot for the time leading up to suddenly he woke up as Riolu.
I assume Squirrel was relaying this to the party. Everyone, right?
Yeah. Not those exact words, but yeah. He's just gonna kind of flop on the ground after that. I haven't had one of those yet.
Pyroclast's gonna try and catch him.
Well, I guess you better roll that initiative. You know, it's actually funny. In most tabletop games, when somebody says roll for initiative, it's time for combat. But in this one, it's like, no, that's a skill. No, you're not fighting Squirrel. You're just seeing if you're fast enough.
6 dice because this is more instinctual.
Oh my god, I just had a thought, Pyro. But it was me all along. Grabs his face, peels it away, it's the miracle stab Squirrel.
I'm gonna use a soul. 2.
I mean, I guess that's good enough. I mean, it's mostly up to Enja, but yeah.
Yes, I think it is good enough for what he's trying to do. He's not particularly being opposed. As Edge was kind of just staring at, like, what even are those memories? I don't think Edge has seen a paperclip in his life.
Amazing. What is this ancient technology?
Why do I feel offended?
What is this ineffectual chain that I am witnessing?
I mean, they were like $2 for like 1,000 of them.
I beg your pardon?
Well, yeah, they were.
Why
I
would you
couldn't-
trade gears? Why would you trade?
Bucks? Deer? Oh, no. Dollars. I think that's what they were called.
Credits.
It wasn't as shiny as the
It's-
Pokey here.
Some arbitrary money unit, I understand.
Yeah. They were really cheap, but the backpack wasn't. So I tried to fix the backpack with something cheap. It worked.
I didn't know the patents let you arbitrarily modify a pre-existing product.
The patents?
Yeah,
Oh,
whatever
was
I
it
just
not-
say.
was
He's
it
lost Aquarelle.
Oh no! Oh, was it not? Was it not data encrypted?
Edge
What?
tech
No.
difference.
Fuck! Of course.
He's gonna
of
probably
character.
point over at Elva's Wonder Bag. It was kind of like that, but slightly different.
Understandable. Just the exterior then. Just the exterior.
You know, I do know that you guys apparently come from a world that's many times technologically more advanced than my Pokemon world and probably Squirrel's world, but at the same time, you guys have been in this world for 3 years. How do you not know these things?
Well, I know it a little better than he does. But he just scratches the back of his head.
I put a rock on top of Pyroclast head, then motions.
For some reason, he flinches.
Then hold up a sign. This is where he's lived.
Literally under a rock, I see. It does what as we say under the plankton.
Right,
Yeah.
so are we done summoning weird creatures from people's brain muscles today?
I don't know. We could probably
Yeah.
we could probably dig another one out of you if we tried hard enough.
No, let's give Squirrel time to rest from that.
That was a very good progress on basically snuffing out that boy parasite, though. Good job, guys.
It is actually quite disorienting to be gaining so many memories so suddenly. Like a veil was peeled back, but not all the way.
Yeah, could we maybe wait on that a while?
Yeah, plus, the only reason I even attempted doing that is because I had enough proof to say that that would be a positive one. There's going to be negative ones as well, so.
Oh, there definitely will be negative ones.
Verdant holds up a sign that says, "Is there a way to permanently delete this thing?"
Go through all of them.
Literally go through all of the memories until there's no space for the parasite to hide. Then it will have to show itself before it's ready to hatch.
Not
How
today,
long
I'm
would that
hungry.
take?
Picks up squirrel, starts to walk.
I'm just looking over to Noah. You've been weirdly quiet. What you thinking about there, kiddo? What? Oh, I don't know. It just seemed kind of familiar.
Familiar how?
I think I've seen things like that before.
From where? When?
Not here. It's from before. Um, before. And he'll just gesture all around him.
You're gonna need to be a little more specific here. Aquarelle's just scratching his head of his helmet. What was that?
I mean, who wants to try and roll an insight or whatever, or intuition?
Okay, Aquarelle, we'll try.
I cannot help here.
I kind of want to roll my own
Yeah.
roll on this. Nope.
Do I wanna?
Oh no!
Let's go.
This is not going well.
I'll try to willpower that. I'll risk one.
Oh wait, she is there. Thank God.
What? Have I been spared the willpower route?
Yes, you may be spared the willpower. That seems correct.
Man, yesterday's session our dice were on fire, and today they're not.
The cosmic rebalancing.
Indeed.
All right, she's got it. You mean before you came here? Yes. Do you remember anything about before? When you were there? Not especially. All right. So if you focus on explicitly those things, the thing that seemed familiar, can you remember anything? Now here's the thing about Noah. I do have a stat sheet for him.
Oh,
I also have 3 negative masteries when it comes to memory.
That
do
checks
they have
out.
do they have names?
Yes. One is called fragmented. One is called attention deficit disorder. Sounds familiar.
Yep, Squirrel, he really is your best friend.
Thief.
And the other is repression.
Oh my.
That is a 10. Go. I will spend a soul. Come on, Noah. Remember. Alright. He's crossing his arms and doing a big thonk. They're not alive. Not
the,
really?
the parasites?
No, the parent thing.
That's what I said, the parasite.
Yeah, I guess. What was the name for them? Void.
Boy parasites.
No, there was a different name for the big one.
Wait, big
Big?
one.
There's a
Yeah.
bigger one?
Yeah, they touch the people and gives them the thing.
Oh, but blinks. Oh. So there is a boy parasite parent that injects people with them. We have never been able to confirm or deny such a thing. We can't really observe them.
Edge looks away.
Edge, would you like to say something?
Didn't I already talk about this? That they were big and they passed me?
You know, for most people, they look away and it's, barely noticeable. For Edge, it's like, rotate entire body.
Also, I should say that was in the other session. I'm not sure if we talked about this here, unless it was last time when I wasn't here.
I
Yeah, I
don't
was.
know.
I'm going to
I
be
think I
honest,
come
this
up
is
with it.
part of why I want to just end this side game, move to a new campaign, because it is getting so hard to keep track of what's happened and which one at this point.
I think that here's the thing. We did the interrogation here, and then we did the interrogation in the other one. But basically, we went over the same information twice. Because that in that game, he also mentioned that weird blue-green rock that turned into water.
Yeah, but
yeah, I remember that.
I do think I remember that the big parasites, that the big boy creatures were not mentioned in this session though.
Yeah, I
We can
think
just-
we touched more on the cult in this one.
Yeah,
That's fair.
I'm afraid to get more cool stuff in this game though, because it's not going to be forever.
yeah, but we could just
That is
But we
another
could-
part of why I'm kind of like, Squirrel's had his first actual memory moment, and it's technically not canon.
Oh, don't worry. I'll find a way. There is a reason I asked you that question.
Colty, sit down.
I'm okay with it, merging it a bit, but yeah, it is getting so
Yeah.
hard to keep track.
yeah.
Fair.
Also, it's fine. It's fine if Edge saying what you may call it is a mentioning about them, because I can imagine him forgetting to mention this when we were just on the topic, but and just thinking
Oh,
that he actually spoke about it. So that's fine.
yeah. Yeah, he definitely would do that.
Yeah. And Elba is going to say to that, no,
Silence, potato being.
no, you definitely did not mention them.
Shit.
How aware were you when you were in the space between worlds?
That is a difficult question to answer, as I was technically a soul. Kind of. 40%. But I was like not really gazing with my body. I was like my senses had already like left, but like my body wasn't finished dying, but like my soul was definitely kind of above it. Man, I was a fucking meat pile. Shit.
How morbid yet intriguing. And the only reason I say intriguing is because, well, you are the first instance of anything like this happening from all of the times that a chosen that a human Pokemon has come over. We have never been able to observe what happens in the transition between in the space between worlds.
Well, it's not very pleasant. I'd give it like a 3 out of 10, especially with the security.
Wait, security?
The lack thereof, that these things could literally just walk up to us basically unopposed.
I mean, we don't really. There's not. I mean, we don't. We have never been able to
Well,
observe the boy parasites, but the only way that they come to our world is through through the chosen Pokemon being in them. So it's not like they can actually come into our world as far as we know, just by themselves.
now Edge is going to roll something.
What do you want him to roll?
Roll an academics check. And if he has any relevance, and if he has any specialties, do include them for relevant interests or relevant specialties regarding space travel of any kind or faster than light movement.
He does not have those. Five, 9. Seven, I believe.
Seven's good enough for him to pick up on something. And to pick up on something he does as he starts to consider. Not sure why I didn't notice before, but I don't think we were going through space, actually.
What do you mean?
It was incorrect, and we were getting we were getting displaced a bit too easily. That, and there was a lack of most things after a point. Actually, they kept actively disappearing from my peripherals, come to think of it, until there was just blackness.
Did we somehow then enter a?
I would like a lore check from everyone who doesn't remember anything like that.
Oh boy,
Everyone?
lore.
I look something I can roll.
Well, if there's another thing that helps you with remembering, I'm all for it.
What are we rolling?
Lore.
Does
Okay.
dimensional science apply?
Tragically, it does not.
Okay, what were the conditions on the lore check?
This one is just remembering.
Should squirrel bother, or...
Yes, the
Okay.
squirrel was affected by this incident, actually. All of
Okay.
you were.
I'll soul those 2 ones.
Well, he's got a whole whopping 4 dice.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So, how's Quagopedia looking?
Lore 9.
Yeah, let's get that roll.
You could always rely on Quackopedia.
Yeah. Elva and Pyroclast, something comes to mind. You were there only for a brief period of time before you were scooted out and back and into this forest. Oh, the void.
Elba blinks.
Oh.
Wait, the void? The distortion realm? Giratina's
Yes.
domain?
Correct.
That's
From this
that.
insinuation, you can draw that the void / distortion realm is a different plane than space.
Huh. Well, Elba kind of already knew that, but the surprising thing to him is that apparently while traveling through the worlds, they ended up going through the void.
Ow, ow, quantum, ouch.
So you're telling me you traveled through the void or the distortion realm as you were coming to our world.
Yes. And
Is
we
that-
were touched before we were transformed, actually.
Is that is the void actually part of the path between this world and this world and others, or is that something unusual? I mean, we have not been able to document humans coming to our world. Most of them don't remember how it went down, so it's not something that we know of. But this is some new findings. Edge, how could you have kept all of this information to yourself?
I've explained it repeatedly.
It doesn't make sense though. This is such an academic breakthrough for us. For us, oh, come on.
Ask as many times as you please. My answer will not change.
He's always done this.
Elba just shrugs. Okay. Well, I mean, until it's able to be tested out, it's not exactly concrete evidence, but this is certainly something new. Huh. But wait. We have access to the distortion realm right now, don't we? Because we did figure out that ritual that Shia was given it actually opens a rift to the void. Depending on how much poker you put into it, at least.
Ah, cool. We could all get void parasites.
Who said that?
Verdon holds up a sign, or go and fight them on their home turf.
Wait a minute. Didn't you say I got touched before we entered the void?
No. You got touched before you transformed into that.
So the boy parasites attached to you while you're human.
So I'm guessing. So I guess the void doesn't have the same rules as here.
Well, I don't think we had reached here yet.
I suppose that makes sense. I mean, it is a different realm.
So it's kind of interesting how we ended up there before here.
Now,
Does it stoke your intellectual curiosity?
Yeah, especially because another number is coming to mind, I think.
Oh, what's this one?
Quantum enlayerment. Factor of 2.
what is that?
I don't think it'll mean anything to you.
Means a reality overlaid onto another.
Oh, so you mean heaven and hell, and the distortion realm? I suppose that you could count those as that. Well, hell doesn't exist right now, but if it existed, I guess it would be something like that.
I know. Want to go back to the void? What?
Is everyone saying that?
You know, I'm not going to lie. I'm actually now kind of curious.
Verdon writes out, I still don't see how it's a bad idea to fight them on their turf.
If we can do that.
I mean, we don't know how many boy parasites are there, or how big they can get. Just imagine how the parents look like.
Yeah, speaking of those, Noah, have you remembered what you're trying to remember about their possible name?
I'm just gonna settle with entity until I can think of something better.
That'll work for now.
Void entity sounds correct. Yeah.
As interesting as all this knowledge is, what do we do with it?
What?
Aquarelle said that while he was writing that down, he'd asked, as interesting as all this knowledge is, what do we do with it?
I guess hold on to it until we can give it to someone who can utilize it.
We put it in a book and sell it for money.
Now that I think about it, if the void and the distortion realm are the same thing, but it didn't click. It didn't click on me until now. I suppose it is the place where the boy parasites reside, but it is also Lord Giratina's domain. What exactly does he do with the boy parasites over there? I'm kind of curious now. I mean, there's very little documentation when it regards Lord Giratina. In fact, most stories I've heard of Giratina is that he was passing to the boy for doing something awful.
Ambiguous bad thing which he went to the timeout corner for. But no one can say what the bad thing is. And therefore,
Is
what was my point? What-
Is Giratina in charge of the boy parasites then? Is he trying to invade the world with them?
I was gonna think about that one.
It's
Weird thing to do, considering he can just make holes.
considering he gave Shia something to make a rift into it, I think there might be something preventing him from making a rift from his side of the place.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
I mean, if he was cast down there, if he could just get out whenever he wanted to, it wouldn't exactly be a punishment, would it?
If that's actually the thing.
Yeah, we don't know for sure on that.
Still though, we ended up staring into him for that one moment with that teleportation mishap, and well, he didn't seem malicious to us. In fact, when we almost ended up going into the boat ourselves, but he pushed us out.
Yeah, I feel like that whole situation was awkward.
What was he like? Was he big?
He was very big. And Elba is going to give a brief description of Giratina's appearance.
Noah's going to tilt his head in deep consideration. Boy is trying to remember things. Which is really difficult when you're down 9 dice.
Is he like rolling negative dice?
No. He's just -9 from what his total might be.
Oh, see?
I don't think Hank's
This boy is cracked. However, he rolled a 0. This boy's he did get 3s. Well, I guess that is just thematically appropriate now, isn't it?
What did he get?
6, 6, 2, 2, 6.
Just vigor rush that, man. Just vigor rush that.
I don't
They
reckon
just
any of
have-
us can assist him with this, can we?
That's fair. He's got the points to spare, might as well. That does sound familiar.
Well, you know, I kind of get the feeling that you might be a denizen of the void yourself, considering that the food that you eat comes from it. So,
Oh no, there was nothing to eat there. I had to bite him.
exactly.
Bite Giratina?
Yes.
Wait, what? Ah, so you were drinking his ichor. Oh my.
What's that?
Ichor is the word for the blood of a god.
Cool.
I was wondering what that substance was. What the substance was. Um. Okay, so I don't particularly think that Giratina is as antagonistic as the legends are setting out to be, considering that he's willing to let you buy him to feed you.
Hmm.
Noah smiles. But then maybe this might be a clue as to why he is so inclined to put anything and everything into his mouth.
Perhaps.
Considering that maybe as a smaller EV, biting was okay.
So wait, you used to buy him all the time to eat over there? You remember you remember living with him?
Kind of?
Elva is putting his paws together.
Well,
Hmm.
I mean, like, I think I tried. I could never do it, though. He had to cut himself.
Ah.
Wait, he would do it himself?
I
I have,
wonder.
I have weak teeth and a small mouth. His skin is very thick.
That would make sense. He is a god after all. Hmm. He was taking care of you so
Aquarelle,
thoroughly.
you know to be factually incorrect. You've seen him bite through metal.
I mean, I mean, it could have been like that back then, when he was a smaller Eevee.
Now I'm wondering, how did you end up here then?
I don't remember.
I was just about to ask that. Was this something must have happened for you to have come from the void into our world? And I suppose however that happened, you ended up with Shia, and Giratina ended up giving Shia some vision so that you had some sustenance while you were here, because he couldn't come over himself. Couldn't come over himself, but he probably wants to.
Hmm.
Oh, what if we make a big hole?
I was, you know, trying to summon the Lord Lord Giratina might be seen as very heretical towards all the other gods, but at the same time, I am just incredibly curious with all of this,
Verdun
because
holds up a sign that says, "Aren't all the other gods basically bad at this point, according to other information, quote unquote, other sources?"
Now, that would
yeah.
be a fun way to end this side campaign.
Joining Garatina's side.
Or summoning him, rather. It, well, that is from what we heard from the from squirrels from Querstins, from all those letters. I've kind of have had my doubts on that, because it's something I want to confirm myself, if it is at all possible. But listening, but Giratina has been painted as a bad guy that was cast away for so long, but if the actions these actions that we have witnessed for ourselves are not the actions of a tyrant.
Hey, Elva.
Yes.
If I just thought of idea for like an emergency escape if it comes to that. Do you think
Oh?
we would be able to use that food summoning thing to actually open a hole to the void where we could go through it?
Yes, I suppose so. It just need to be big enough for it to do it.
What if we
She
go to
admit-
the vault?
Hmm?
What if we go to the vault in the village? There's lots of value items there.
I mean, we just need a lot of pokey. We don't need value items.
No, money items.
Let's make sure others are okay with that before we do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Asks, hey, can we summon the Lord of the Distortion Realm?
Hey, they were cool about the assassins arriving.
Hey, the assassins are coming. Do you mind if we summon a backup plan? We call the plan no.
I mean, she had also said that the plays for the ritual has to be performing a play of a high concentration of energy. It can't just be anywhere. I mean,
Wait a minute.
I guess yes, house counts because she's been performing it here, but
Hey, Aquarelle.
Yes.
You said those Smurgles keep coming back regardless if you kill them or not.
Correct.
What would happen if they were killed in the void?
I don't have much knowledge of the void.
we don't have the documentations of the void, but it certainly sounds like an interesting food for thought. I
It
mean,
is.
as far as we know, whenever somebody dies, their souls go to heaven or hell. Well, hell doesn't exist, so I guess it just goes to heaven. But when it comes to the distortion world, we don't know what that would entail.
Well, it's an idea.
It is an idea.
It is an idea.
Oh, it is down.
We would have to make if we're going to test this out. I would need time to prepare the ritual and to make a hole big enough for us to be able to go through it, and then we will have to somehow get the Smirgles to go into it as well. Because I don't imagine that the rift stays open for too long.
So, Noah, how much pokey could you bring out?
Gosh, I don't know. I never tried to count it before.
Verdon holds up a sign that says, "Isn't it polite to normally ask before you show up at somebody's house? Shouldn't one of us ask if it's okay if we have a fight in his house?"
I mean, I suppose so. Do you want me to just? Do you want us to just open a small rift to just have a small conversation with Lord Giratina?
Verdon shrugs. Not the dumbest thing I've heard today, and I hear me a lot, so
I mean,
Just
we're
open
already-
the realm to the void. Hey, Satan, can we fight in your front yard?
really quickly, we got some bad guys we gotta just end. Do you mind if we do it in your front yard?
I mean, I mean, guys,
I mean,
we're
we could
we
just
are.
They are
have
technically abusing his kid.
we could just have Noah ask. Just
I mean,
send him on over. Be like, hey, Dad, can I have some friends over? We're gonna have we're gonna play wrestling in the front yard. Yeah,
Ew,
that's what
I
we're
mean,
doing.
yeah.
Stairs. Okay, keep it civil.
Okay,
Ah,
but being
civil.
serious. Okay, but being serious though, I mean, we are already planning to open a gate to the social world, and he could be on the other side if we do that. Because you do gotta keep in mind that this whole ritual was mainly for getting his ichor into this world. So for this specific thing, he's probably going to be like right on the other side.
Oh, we could get Giratina to kill the assassins.
It's
That ought to put him down good.
perhaps, I suppose, maybe it is a good idea to maybe talk to Lucratina before we open a big thrift. What? What has my life come to?
Alternatively, we do it anyways, and we tell Noah to just point at them and be like, this was their doing.
They did it.
They
Vernon
did
holds
it.
up a sign that says anybody that wants to walk away should probably do the walking away now because things are about to get insane. Smiley face Charizard Doodle.
Honestly though, if we actually did wanted to like warm Lucratina about what we're going to do, we could just open a rift to ask him about Noah and why is he in our world? I think that might be a question that he might be willing to answer.
There's only one
We
way to
can
find
hope.
out.
Elba's taking out his notes.
Verdon's gonna hold up a sign that says, "I think we have a team name. I think we're Team Fuck Around and Find Out."
Lap. Thumbs up. You know what? Fuck it.
Am I wrong?
No, and I
Fuck.
hate that I cannot object.
Team Fafo. You know when I
Everyone, team fuck around and find out.
we're not actually changing our name to that team, but
Oh,
But
we're
I'm
not?
not-
As scrolls halfway through the paperwork.
Laugh. Yeah, my team name's a bad word. Oh, sorry, Beck. I'm gonna be so cool.
Verdon just pats his head and says it's fatful unless we really need to use the curse word. You are allotted one use of it a week.
What has my life come to? When I started this journey, I never would have guessed that I would get involved with the gods, and of all the gods, one who's meant to be the bad guy, but apparently he isn't, and the other gods are the bad guy. Why is everything upside down?
Verdon holds up a sign that says because.
Alba just gives a sigh, and he begins looking through the notes that he took from Shia. Okay, guys, just gather up some Poke. I'll try to open a rift, a relatively small one.
Is there a bank nearby?
Verdon
Aquarelle
will
asks.
just pull out some Poke and toss it over.
What do you say, Aquarelle?
No, Aquarelle was asking if there's a bank nearby in case he needed to get funds.
I mean,
Tragically, there is not a branch of the Porygon Bank here.
unfortunately, I would toss in my money, all my money, my own money myself, but I kind of don't have a lot of money as leader of the No Worry. We're kind of
Well,
have a bit of a tight purse.
I don't know if we need that much, because, like, Noah's just got a whole bunch that he's eaten.
I mean, if Noah is willing to part with it, I wouldn't mind using it.
I'll
No,
do
would you
it.
mind lending me some money so we could see your dad?
Oh,
As Noah just leans over and starts spitting out a small fountain of coins of
Okay.
varying number.
Artists, I need somebody to animate a little Eevee just opening his mouth and then vomiting out coins and launching himself off the canvas.
I mean, Noah used payday. Oh my god.
No, we don't need that much. That's enough. That's enough.
The entire room is just filled with Pokey now. We're all pressed
way-
against the walls.
By the
Well,
way,
done
what-
this shit before in front of Squirrel.
By the way, what is she thinking about this whole conversation? Because I think she must be there.
She is. She has been there this whole time, and this is.
She's lost us.
This is a choice.
I mean, is it? Was contacting Giratira something that you never thought to do yourself? And Shia?
I mean, I did try a few times. It just. I didn't get a response, was the thing.
Huh. I suppose.
I mean, the logical assumption, if you like open a rift and then suddenly there's this black mass like pressing up against it, and you cut it, you think like, oh, this is probably a creature, right?
Yes.
But like, it didn't respond, so I just thought that like maybe there's the language barrier.
Perhaps. But have you ever tried opening one big enough where maybe you could see more of the creature? Because I don't think you never actually saw the creature on the other side.
Part of me just sort of felt instinctual that might be dangerous.
You are not wrong.
That is correct.
But at the same time, if this creature is friendly to Noah, if Giratina wants to take care of Noah, I don't think he will harm us while in his presence.
You're not wrong. Okay. Then I'm for it. And well, I suppose as technical leader of On Ever, I give permission as long as we do it a bit further from the town.
Understandable.
Yes.
Squirrel takes one
Maybe-
step away from the town. Like here?
It doesn't work, if you please. Just to be polite.
Could you lead us towards a place where you think we could do it?
Sure. I suppose like I can think of one place. There is a clearing where the air does feel a bit peculiar.
That may be a good area that has a high concentration of some energy. Yeah, that might work.
Yes.
Verdun holds up a sign that says, "As long as I'm not the battery again."
Don't worry, we have Pokey. Also better than here. Here is your Mega Stone. I've been holding on to it.
He will take it and look like he has no idea where he's supposed to put it.
We can talk about
No.
that later.
I think you're supposed to eat it.
No, don't
No,
eat it.
no.
Do not eat it. We don't need Burden to give himself another injury.
Well, Noah was very insistent of adding another hole to his stomach, so
Maybe Scroll can make something to hold it for you later.
Vernon writes out later. Let's go meet the god of
God of the void.
the void.
Noah seems perplexed as to why eating it is not an acceptable answer.
We'll
It
talk
came
about
out
it
of his
later.
mouth. It came out of his throat. That's mouth adjacent.
We'll talk about this later. Aquarelle says this with grit teeth.
Okay, so I suppose Ishia is leading us to the clearing.
Yes, she is. And the mist does seem thicker around here, but Pyro and Edge seem to prickle a bit in particular when they come here, as there is a high concentration of ghost energy in this area.
Oh, great. One of these places.
Elba may also feel a bit of a tingling sensation considering one of his main moves is a ghost type. Hmm.
Lap. Don't like that.
Sorry if this little sight goes off, because in these places it seems to trigger weirdly.
Well, here's the place. Understandably, she seems just a touch anxious.
She laughed at my joke.
Understandable.
She gets to hold hands.
Well, if there is any place, any place where to perform the ritual, I think this might be an actually appropriate place. If I remember correctly, Giratina was said to be ghost and dragon.
That checks.
Okay, I will do the thing. I have the sigils here. I have the instructions that Shia gave me. I guess we could perform this together.
Aquarelle more or less shrug. And more or less do a motion that says point him in any direction.
The ritual is set up, but how much Poke do you use? The small crack takes 3,000. But then again, you've got your Noah, so money isn't particularly an object.
Yeah, so we're beginning with 3,000, and Elba's just like periodically adding more to just to slowly make the rift bigger. Since Noah is providing the money.
How much was the amount again?
Elba starting with 3,000, but he's just slowly adding more, just to slowly make the rift bigger.
Fair
He's
enough.
not.
This does seem to be working, as the rift does open, and it's you see something black being pressed against it, as if waiting. And then it does seem that good thing, Pokey can be added retroactively.
Ah, good.
However, in so doing, the hole doesn't widen in the way that you would expect. It seems to crack around the edges as pieces fall off, as this doesn't really look like a clean circle. So, pieces of the wall of reality are falling down into a small pile and disappearing.
Oh, that is creepy. Elba is tossing more pokey.
Yeah, Aquarelle will probably just have a wary expression as he sees that.
Yep. And the hole widens and widens, and the cracks spiderweb outwards before growing larger and larger. And by the time it's verdant sized, the black mass is going to begin to retract a bit. As you're going to see it, as you're going to see a shift in the darkness as his face is going to appear in the black mass's place. You have
Pyro's,
guys now.
Pyro's gonna jump back.
Verdant's gonna wave again like he did in the void.
Elba is just a big stone face at staring at the lore of the void.
You need something from me. Hi! As he's going to look down at Noah. Jesus Christ, what happened to you?
A lot happened to him.
A lot happened to him.
Verdant holds up a sign that says, "Long story."
We kind of became acquainted with Noah when he was already like this. Unfortunately.
Verdant writes out, "Do you want the abridged psychic version? We've already done this much, dumb. I'm willing to take this a step further in dumb."
I do not believe it would be wise to connect our minds, even temporarily.
Yeah, but then I usually I don't stop you from doing this kinds of stuff, but I am going to say I'm going to say this right now that it's not a good idea.
Verdant writes on his notebook, "Never punished, though."
Come on.
Verdant's got one of those shit-eating grins on his face that says he knows exactly what he's saying right now. He's just fucking with you all.
Wait, actually, well, we kind of figured out. We kind of figured out that you and Noah have some sort of relationship since you've basically been feeding him your blood. We actually kind of wanted to ask you about him.
You are not incorrect. And as companions of my son, as I can practically feel his affinity towards a lot of you, I shall deign to answer your questions.
Ah, so Noah is your son. I was very curious whether that was the case or not, but your
He is
behavior.
not directly my child, no, but I have cared for him.
Verdant may or may not be doing the "I was correct" jiggle in the background. You know that little wiggle that kids do when they're right?
Yeah.
Verdant may or may not have done that.
So I'm guessing that Noah is a denizen of the void.
Not Well, I suppose he was born here, yes, but it's a bit complicated.
I see.
I
Yes,
suppose
I see.
from the beginning then, if you would hear the story.
We would be honored.
Very well then. Now, first though, as he's going to move backwards a little bit, grip both sides of the portal and begin to push them apart, the hole widening dramatically.
Oh,
Before he floats through and it's sealed behind him. There we go.
Aquarelle's
Sorry.
immediately looking in the direction of town, but he knows this is. They must just double checking to make sure they're safe distance away.
Well, you can't even see the town from here, so hopefully you're good.
Hopefully, there's no screaming in the distance.
Well, fog is working to your benefit here, thank God.
hooray! Nobody can see us summoning Satan. Okay, continue with the scene. I mean, I don't care that I already knew Giratina could do that, but since this is the first time that Elba has seen him just open the rift by himself. Elba just has a mouth agape.
It seems that while he cannot open the hole, once it is there, he can rip freely.
Yep. That is a good assumption.
So then, the story in its entirety.
Once Elba got a hold of himself, he's actually sitting down with putting bags on his lap and just looking up at the giant god in front of him.
Vex's eyes are sparkling. Big.
Big.
Aquarelle will take a seat as well. He still has a notebook out, more or less. Just having a fresh page out, but keeping a claw as a bookmark on some of the other stuff Noah's told them.
Yep. So, this might go on for a little while, but you are free to ask questions. There.
Fair enough. Story time with Giratina. Go.
Story time with Satan. So, I am Lord of the Void. It's my job to keep the balance between the realms, and this is a full-time endeavor of which I must be exceptionally vigilant. However, at some point, an exceptionally long time ago, a lot of anonymous material was suddenly dumped into my realm.
Anonymous material? Aquarelle's
Yes.
tilting his head.
It was a
Can you-
bit difficult to identify as it seemed to have all been pressed together as if something had collapsed, or as if the container had collapsed around it.
Wait. Do you
But
guys
I sensed an extraordinary number of souls, both infernal and angelic.
Wait. Are you guys thinking what I'm thinking? That might have been that might have been the remnants of hell once it was destroyed, because that's apparently what happened. Hell was destroyed.
beg your pardon.
Yes. You were not aware of this, Lord Giratina?
Well, I had been a bit preoccupied with erecting the mortal plane, as before this had started, there had been numerous imbalances, so
I see. No, I don't blame you for just keeping to your job. Well, this is information that has been kind of it's kind of been given to us by some sources. Is not something that we can really verify, but it's kind of been it's kind of been a bit of a thing with our group that we know that hell has been destroyed.
fascinating.
If
Well,
that's
I had ignored it initially, as well. It didn't really have anything to do with me. It was, for all intents and purposes, a pile of waste. For all I was considered, or for all I was concerned with. And then, when I checked on it again, something peculiar had started to happen.
oh,
It was condensing more. So I got interested, and I started nudging it a bit. I nudged it every now and then. I left and I came back and I pushed it more together, compressing it just to see what would happen. And then something did. After it reached a certain point, where it was the size of an extraordinarily tiny ball, then a shell formed around it.
a shell, kind of like a cocoon.
Kind of, yes.
I mean,
I had no idea what would come out of so much, well, everything.
I mean, I can only imagine. I mean, knowledge of heaven and hell it's already kind of limited to us in this reality. I can only imagine what all of that material just coalescing together would do.
Yes, and I thought angel souls and demon souls would like naturally oppose together. I didn't expect them to fuse.
That's intriguing.
Yes, so I was very intrigued. So I took it with me as I went about my business. And then out hatched a tiny little Eevee.
And that was Noah.
I did eventually name him that once I thought of an acceptable name.
Ah.
For a while, he just went by you.
I see.
I mean, I don't know explicitly what I was expecting. It's just that there isn't oxygen in my domain. I didn't know how he was fine. I hadn't thought this through.
Oh, wait. That means that if any of us that aren't ghosts that went into it, we would probably die quickly.
Well, not unless you have some specific protections, or, I mean, it wouldn't set in immediately. It's not like it's a vacuum. There's just nothing.
I see. Understandable though. But I guess. Well, I guess Noah was able to live there though normally.
Somehow, only 2 hours after hatching, he started to wail. And I ran through my checklist of things that children need that I could remember, and I did recall sustenance being a rather key point.
Of course.
But here's the problem. My realm has nothing. Not a damn thing. It is the void. And I'm fairly certain that people cannot be sustained on the occasional rock that falls in here.
That is fair.
That, and I am aware that young ones, in particular, require a liquid diet or some soft diet. So, having already 0 options, of which they were then limited, I began to panic.
Well, he really sounds like a parent.
Verdant
No.
nods in the sagey wisdom of "I've been there."
And Noah basically was a baby at that point. Yeah, that really just sounds like a parent just panicking on their first child.
I took the egg out of curiosity. I didn't actually think of what would happen next.
Sounds like about 90% of people who have children.
Yeah. Oh god, it's making noise. What do I do?
Anyway. So, I remembered that there is one liquid in this domain, and it is my blood. So, I made an incision on my side, and I shoved his face against it. It
Okay,
was a
yeah,
little
that's being
reckless
a
as
quote.
It was a little reckless as I had crammed his entire being into my womb.
Oh dear.
I may have been a bit reckless and sized it a bit too much, but it worked eventually. As after it got into his mouth, he quieted down and started consuming. I had the devil of a time getting him out, though. He was very wriggly. Oh my god.
I'm sorry, a line like that being handed, that's a quote. That is a quote and a half.
Fair enough.
The best thing about it, it's coming from a little god who came a parent by accident.
Anyway, I had a devil of a time getting him out from under my skin. He was extremely wriggly.
Elva nods. His face is like, is this actually real? Am I really just talking casually to the Lord of the Void?
Verdant nods.
And then next time he cried for sustenance, I made a smaller incision and just let him down next to it, which wasn't enough. He was a very stupid tiny being. So I kept having to press him against my blood until he would begin to get out on his own, having eventually recognized it as what he is partaking of.
Elba nods. You know, it actually seems to be quite a bit of good luck in this regard, because it seems that ichor is honestly the only thing that Noah can actually eat. Anything else, it just kind of stores it inside of his being.
Interesting. Well, anyway, I suppose I kept him. I could recover from such small wounds and minor blood loss on my own just fine. And it was, well, interesting having company or something else to pay attention to. Not very good for my job performance, mind you, but it was satisfying in a way I was quite accustomed to. And so, eventually, he learned things, and it seems that occasionally he would converse with the numerous souls trapped inside of him.
You can do that.
I couldn't really do a
Noah?
lot about that, other than that they wouldn't teach him anything improper.
And Aquarelle is asking, you can do that, Noah?
Noah shrugs and doesn't seem to be sure. He doesn't remember doing that or how he'd go about hearing just one of them.
Verdon writes out, he might have not spoken to them in a while.
His amnesia is rather horrendous at the moment, courtesy of his situation.
So afterwards, I had a thought that maybe this place isn't especially conducive for a child to grow. And so one day I came upon a crack, a small little hole.
We have gained a Rdyjin for art.
Ooh,
Hi, Rdyjin.
hello.
Hello, Rai.
Oh, what's this?
Circles.
Circles. Many circles.
Warm up.
Ah. So, one day there was a small opening, and through it I could see on the other side a forest with some mist and grass. And so I picked him up and I threw him.
And so that's how. So that's how Noah ended up coming to the mortal world.
Indeed. I
Man.
pitched him. I pitched him with unparalleled accuracy.
I mean, I suppose it makes sense that you wouldn't exactly be able to teach him much inside of the void.
I wanted him to see more. I wanted him to see anything.
Nice. Suppose that makes sense. It's just a bit of a shame that things ended up this way for him.
Yes, I suppose it was a bit abrupt, but, well, natural cracks don't last very long on their own, so I didn't have time for a bye or much of an explanation.
That makes sense.
At least your intentions were pure.
I suppose
And
you would somehow ended up contacting Shia from there.
Yes, peering into the world is difficult. But, sometimes some things can reach the distortion realm, and I was able to answer a clumsy but desperate prayer. And once I had been made aware of his contacts, I put my full efforts into giving her what she would need. And thank goodness that she did as was instructed. And so I've given her effectively the methods of reaching me when needed and an item that I could imbue with my abilities so that it would be sharp enough to cleave into me, at least a short.
So that Noah could be able to eat.
That is correct. And
Yeah.
so whenever I feel the hole being formed, I raise one of my tendrils and just press it against it preemptively.
And this is the first time somebody tried to make the hole much bigger.
It was the first time someone that it had been made this large, yes. So you understand my curiosity, though. Admittedly, as I could detect Noah, I was not preparing for hostilities.
Elba nods. Yeah, we did figure that if you were taking care of Noah, you wouldn't be hostile, and thankfully we wouldn't be hostile towards you either.
Right. Well, that is about the extent of it. So, what more do you want to know?
Well, actually, I am kind of curious about something that you mentioned earlier. You did mention that taking care of Noah was a bit of a hit to your job performance. What is it that you do in the void?
I balance the distributions of energy.
Ah,
Yes, and I do try to keep the balance. I've been siphoning dark energy out of the mortal world for quite some time now. Never seems like quite enough.
oh, yeah.
Aquarelle's just looking to the side.
Remember when we mentioned of hell being destroyed? That's probably the reason why.
Ah. Yes, that is trouble.
Do you know anything about boy parasites by any chance?
Ah, yes. They're like they're one step above jellyfish. If I were to put any void parasites. Ah, yes. I apologize for that. I have not been as vigilant as I normally ought to be. As ruler of the Void, I am also its warden, and I'm supposed to be keeping those things in line. However, trying to keep the realm in balance is beyond a full-time job.
Oh, so it's because of the extra work that you have to do because of the extra dark energy coming to your realm because of hell being destroyed. That's the reason why why so many boy parasites are skulking about in there, because a lot of human Pokemon come over with boy parasites. They more often come with one inside of them than not.
I have not been tending to them. No.
Verdun holds up a sign that says, "Is there an easy way to send them back to you?"
We actually have somebody. We actually have somebody with a boy parasite inside of them with us right now.
Two.
Oh.
Yeah.
Pyro raises his hand.
So Verdun writes out, "Yeah, if there's a really easy spell or something you could just teach us that would make it so that way we could make the void parasites go back to the home realm."
I mean, it's not quite so easy.
I had a feeling.
I mean, I could remove them, but they've set their roots inside you. So if I were to excise them, they would just take what they're holding with them.
That's a nasty image in Aquarelle's
I
head.
could do it.
So yeah, I guess there's definitely not an easy way to take them out. Once they're inside of you, the only good way is to just remember things so that they don't have something to latch onto.
Verdun writes out, "Shame there isn't even a way to just weaken them so that way memories come easier."
I do have a.
Sometimes things aren't that easy, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad thing to ask.
I do have a question. When me and this guy were coming into this world, I was unconscious and got a void parasite, but apparently this guy saw something like a bigger amorphous thing.
Ah, yes. Boy. The void creatures. When I mentioned that they're basically a step up from jellyfish, I would say this as they're practically non-sentient. They follow their instincts with no higher processing. Void creatures exist to consume and reproduce.
I suppose the label of void parasite is very appropriate then.
Yes.
I guess, Edge, that's why it didn't really see you as a target.
Yep.
I guess
dying.
I guess it can't attach to your soul. It can only attach to your brain.
That is correct. The memories are gone, but the muscle memory remains, the feelings remain, things like that. Those might give you clues to dislodge them.
Verdun holds up a sign that says, "Maybe we should ask the other question too."
You have more?
Okay, what was this other question?
Vernon
I
writes
think it
out,
had the assassins.
Ah, right.
Aquarelle will turn and his notes back to the what Noah was telling them. Well, we appreciate the information you've shared thus far, but that is it. To be transparent, the
I
situation
suppose souls that end up here do not indeed travel to the afterlife, but these sound like something else. Noah, did they have any features of note? Anything that is peculiar? Well, there is a ball inside their bodies that keeps moving around. Excuse me.
Huh?
say that again?
There's a ball in their bodies.
A ball in their bodies that keeps moving around. Can you
Yes.
say? Can you say anything specific about these balls?
I've not seen it before, but there's a lot of power from it.
So like a fuel source or power source?
Kind of. It's like, what do I say? I think it's what has their ghosts. Their phylactery is inside their own body. Interesting.
Out of character. God dang liches.
Do
Do you know how you solve liches? Don't eat them.
Assassin liches, they get their own food.
I did not. I did not even consider that those guys could be liches, or undead for that matter. I suppose it makes sense that they keep coming back.
What's
Yeah,
a
their souls
lich?
technically aren't leaving their bodies.
Ah, a lich is Well, I suppose a lich can be described as a creature that whose soul is not in their bodies, and but their bodies can still function without it, and it can't they basically cannot die unless this thing called a phylactery is destroyed, because that's what houses their soul. They can just reconstruct another body. At least that's what I read. I mostly heard about them in fantasy books.
Verdun,
Yes,
hold your
because-
breath. Can we kill them in the void?
Because, yes, you may do that. However, well, I suppose if they perished in the void, they would never return to the mortal realm unless they happened to find another crack.
And they probably a crack big enough for them to go through wouldn't really materialize all that often, I imagine.
Nope.
Unless someone else was aware of this ritual. Or at least that means of getting here.
Knowledge is exceptionally limited.
Better to destroy the flack. Verdun has trouble spelling phylactery.
I mean, if they are smart, their phylactery is not with them. It can stay from in the fantasy story that I've read. The phylactery is usually stored very far away from them. So, I mean, I don't know the technicalities of this. I'm not sure how far away they can be from it before they become non-functional, if there is any limit.
Elva,
Yes.
I think Noah said it's in their bodies.
Ah, right. Well, I guess it is in their bodies. Never mind. Sorry.
Verdun writes out, then we just beat the tar out of them until we get to the phylactery, and then beat the tar out of the phylactery. Problem solved. Thumbs up.
Aquarelle is just squinting. A part of him hates how much he agrees with Verdant's logic here, even though it's likely more complicated than that.
I mean, Giratina does seem to think that it's quite novel. Of course, having a phylactery inside the body would increase the synchronization rate and prevent any delay while keeping it technically immortal. As long as the body is not fully destroyed, of course they'd be fine.
I suppose these dudes have only ever been beheaded.
Yes.
So I guess it makes sense why they just keep coming back.
Verdant writes out, I do have a method of complete destruction. Though it's a fairly evil way of doing it.
You say to the dark type who's now intrigued.
Verdant writes out, I have a move called Consume.
Berting, I'm not entirely sure if it's a good idea to eat the phylactery. Well, who knows what it's going to do to your body?
Plan A,
I
beat the tar
know.
out of. Plan B, run and find out.
I know you
Bert-
eat a lot, but I
Bertin,
don't think that's...
Bertin, I'm going to have to veto this plan just because I don't want you to possibly get possessed by them. We don't freaking know how these things work.
Verdant is surprised that you guys are actually taking that suggestion seriously. He was joking.
I just imagine how Verdant consumes them, and he just has these two new voices in his head.
It says that these voices wouldn't be friendly.
Hey there, landlord. How you doing?
Evicted. Wait a minute, this is fine. You have to listen to my thoughts. Haha! Enjoy eternity, bitch. I think it's good.
Yeah. Giratina, Elba is going to address Giratina for a moment and just ask, Lord Giratina, do you mind if I ask you a question that might be a bit personal, I think?
Proceed.
How is your relationship with the other gods?
I don't particularly have a relation with the other gods, though I suppose that it was also one of my responsibilities to... My god, that's a good word. It's been a while since I've done that, though.
You cut out a bit towards the end.
He is groaning a bit as he is realizing that there are many responsibilities that he has not been getting to, just vacuuming dark energy off the mortal realm, and it is still this potent.
New headcanon of Giratina wearing a maid outfit or a dress, vacuuming.
All right, so we've got the Noah coin fountain and maid Giratina.
Oh god.
The reason I'm asking is because, well, the main reason why we are in this location at all, how we even got the knowledge to summon you, was because we had a bit of a vision from Cernias that told us to take Noah to him.
I beg your pardon.
Elba just gives a nod.
Yes.
Did you're cutting out again?
Cernius, one with my child.
I can only surmise it may have something to do with the fact that he apparently is the coagulation of whatever was left over of hell when it was destroyed. He is the god of life after all.
You can almost see an exclamation mark over his head as he looks towards Noah, as if somehow the thought never occurred. Ah. That. Fascinating. Well, that's a bit embarrassing. I should have that sooner, perhaps. Ah.
you know, out of character, Paromi it just kind of wants to like ask Giratina to come with us to Cernias just to see just to see if maybe he'll actually behave if he's with us when we confront him.
I mean, extremely possible.
I am really tempted to do that.
What a fun way to what a fun way it would be to cap this off, though, wouldn't it?
Yes. We can
If
just
Giratina was just there from the beginning, tearing his way through the entire forest, Angel's either suicide diving him or just running.
Yes.
I mean, it's not a bad idea if it works.
Yeah. after we've dealt with the assassin, we can go ahead and do that, and just have us scene with Cernias with Giratina with us.
So all we need to do is first take care of assassins by beating the living tar out of them, and then not stopping until there isn't any left of them.
Yes.
Seems doable.
And then apparently we're going to take a walk through the park with Xerneas. Got it.
Yeah.
Totally
Yeah,
not. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. I was going to say, I am not entirely sure what his intentions are exactly, and I've kind of been told another piece of information that apparently the gods have been seeking people, human Pokemon to be villains in this realm. So I've kind of been a bit apprehensive taking Noah to him, but at the same time I feel like we have to, because, well, if hell being destroyed is also a big problem. So at the same time, at the same time, I feel like we should take Noah there, but I'm not sure if we should. I wonder if maybe you could come with us when we do that.
Yes. Yes, I shall.
Elva just feels really awkward at the moment. Well, are you able? Are you? Are you able to remain in the mortal world for long periods of times?
I mean, there is not an actual restriction on me. It's just that by being here, I am also not exactly tending to my duties.
That is true. Okay, I just wanted to make sure, like, there wasn't anything that was damaging your body by being here.
No.
Okay. Well, I suppose once we take care of the assassins, we can head right over there. It's not. I don't think it's something that should take us more than 2 days. Would that be a good mini vacation for you, or do you need to head back?
Well, I do not believe that the world will perish if I am gone for just under.
Verdun writes out, how are we going to hide him? I don't think he knows transform, and it's not like he can just hide.
Well, I mean, Giratina. I mean, Lord Giratina, you are ghost type, right? Are you able to phase through things, or are you able to become transparent?
I suppose I could I could embody those properties more if I shifted my state.
Shifted your state.
Yes. The form you are seeing now is the one that is native to the void, though I do have an alternate one that is a bit more inclined towards the mortal realm. But I can, as I am inherently a ghost type, also embody the traits.
Elba nods. Yeah. That sounds like a good idea. Because, well, I mean, this area is a bit secluded from general population, but if any Pokemon found you here, they will be freaking out. Besides us, I suppose.
She isn't sure that she has the sufficient accommodations for the Lord of the Void.
She can handle a
However,
14 down, but
she
maybe
would
housing a god. That is a bit much.
try.
It's okay, he can stay in the forge.
Gosh dang it, now I'm imagining Giratina in the middle of the porch like a bed.
Elba could just as Giratina if he knows the move Minivice, but he doesn't want to ask that.
Well, alternatively, there's always possession if he wants to hang out inside somebody. As weird as that is.
That is true.
Which might actually, unfortunately, be the safest method, and we probably don't want to stick him in one of the dark types. Sorry, people.
Yeah.
He will raise a brow and not he would not be for possessing someone, as that may be very difficult on their bodies to house the entirety of his being.
Also fair.
Squirrel is up to the task.
About to say, Verdun's already done stupider.
Just because you have done stupider doesn't mean that we should allow something even more stupid.
No, but we'll have to find some safe way of getting him around.
Yeah.
With limited options.
You don't happen to know the move Minimize, do you, Giratina? Lord Giratina?
Could probably simulate it. Free.
Elba nods. I can tell you what I know about it to see if maybe you could learn it quickly.
Sure.
Yeah.
He's just sitting there on about 20,000 XP, maybe more.
Elba's just going to explain the move minimize to Giratina. It's not a move that Elba actually has, but Elba knows about it.
Yes.
I will say
Vex.
it's one that is not capable of being learned in Scar.
Vex objects strongly to minimizing Giratina.
But he'll be so cute and chibi. He'll be like a little stuffed animal. We can carry him around.
Oh, he's not gonna be cool if he's.
I mean, technically, you could have the move in Scar. It just be one that raises evasion, just no actual size reduction.
Size. Yeah.
Yes.
I remember the old games, like Red and
The spider
Blue.
change, yeah.
Yeah, where
It'd
it
be like
just
an
became
energy
this
sword.
little itty bitty pixel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Minimize also used to have a property that whenever a Pokemon used that moves like Stomp would deal extra damage to them, but for some reason they removed that.
It never actually worked properly in the games. It was supposed to, but it didn't work because they didn't program it right.
So I guess they just say frick it and removed it entirely.
You got to remember the original Pokemon games. They had to. So, random side tangent about you guys remember Pokemon Stadium, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So to get that to work, Miyamoto himself had to come down and figure out how they program Pokemon Red and Blue. Because they actually didn't know how it all worked. That's how spaghetti the code is, because they literally had to backwards program their game to make Pokemon Stadium.
Wow.
Yep. So a lot of things that were supposed to work didn't. And there was a bunch of things that weren't supposed to happen that did.
I would assume.
Hence missing no. And being able to fight Professor Oak and all these other little things.
Yeah. One thing that I vividly remember about Pokemon Stadium is that they ended up buffing the substitute move, because in the original game, substitute didn't protect you from status ailments, but in Stadium it does, and they kind of kept that for the subsequent games.
Pokemon Red. First gen. Best gen, just because it's that much of a mess. Side tangent over, sorry.
I'm surprised Noah hasn't spoken up about and attempted to help with the whole making Giratina smaller.
I mean, he's kind of just staring at Giratina and listening to all of this.
And
it is a lot to take in.
Yeah, I mean, Giratina just told Noah his origin. He's probably in contemplation right now.
His eyes are crossed, and a third one has developed to also look askew.
Noah, are you okay?
I think this might be a lot for him to take in.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. He basically just remember his origins, or has been told his origins. We how fragmented his memory is. This has to be a lot to take in.
However, Giratina is successful in his application of Minimize.
Hooray! Cue the Mario sound effect.
Well,
That one.
No, I actually the
I
one
don't think that's the
I
one
was
he
thinking-
was meaning, but that's what I've got.
Yeah, no, the one I made is the one that happens whenever Mario it grows, or rather shrinks when he gets hit.
Ba, 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 ba.
Yes.
Oh, the mushroom sound effect.
How small did Giratina get?
Unfortunately, he's still about the size of a house. He's gonna need to do it again.
Ah, it actually worked.
Well, this is more manageable, I suppose.
Yes.
After doing it again, and how's his size?
If you did it again, you could actually. I think you could actually enter a house, or we could take it. Oh, unfortunately, I don't think we have any warlords nearby. Any warlord residents nearby.
Hold on, I can block. And so he shrinks again. He is now almost face to face with Aquarelle.
I reckon he's a bit taller, but it seems doable.
However, he has also shifted, and now he has legs.
Ah, so he was in worm form before.
He was in worm form.
Origin form. So now he's in alter form. Oh, you've grown legs, Lord Giratina.
I have. I can't be hovering all the time.
I see.
Yes, there is gravity in this world.
Ah,
Probably be abiding by that.
I suppose that makes sense. And now that you're actually our size, we could actually take you with us.
It's not too difficult for you to maintain that, is it? Was I not hurt?
no, I heard you.
No. What did you say?
Aquarelle was asking Giratina if it wasn't too difficult for him to maintain the size.
Not especially. No, I just have to be passively mindful of it.
Okay.
Okay, before we're heading back, Elba is just going to pinch himself with his flippers somehow. Okay, I am okay. I can confirm that I'm not dreaming. This has not been just a long fever dream for me. This is actually happening to me. Hey guys, what do you think about this? he's asking Lap and Bex.
Lap is just staring as he cannot accept the reality of the situation. This is where he draws the line. Vex is just deeply sad that Giratina can be so enormous that he could climb him for 10 minutes and did not reach the top.
I like
My
how
God.
that's his measurement tool. 10 minutes. Yep. Totally a long time.
Of climbing to reach the top.
Yes, that is still totally a long time. 10 minutes. A whole 10 minutes.
Apparently, it'd be the most exciting 10 minutes in his life.
You don't know the half of it. This is the most excitement I had as a team leader. I suppose you could say.
Yep, team leader of Team Fafo.
Team Fat.
Ah. Wait, so that means we're all a team together?
I was just making a callback joke to what we were talking about earlier.
I know.
But
Yeah.
no.
Okay. But yeah. Yeah, we're just going to give a bit of a long sigh. Okay. Well, I guess this is I guess this is what is actually happening. We should how long until the assassins arrive, by the way?
I'd say
I
we're running with.
I believe 2 days.
Wait,
Yeah.
we're still on 2 days?
Oh,
was
we can
originally
fast
3
forward
days.
if you would like.
Yeah.
It was-
I mean, unless people want to do something else, but I don't think we're going to top summoning Giratina.
Fair.
And
I do have a fun little activity we could do.
Ah,
other than hang out with the Garantina time.
Yeah. So, guys,
yes.
Yes.
when I was going over the memories I got back, I found something kind of interesting.
Go on.
You know these shards I had Squirrel forge into this band?
There's a nod from Aquarelle.
They're not originally from this world.
Are they from your world?
Not sure. But they have a very unique properties.
What are their properties?
The first being, in special conditions, they can be used to weaken a dimensional barrier.
Oh.
The second is a fun little activity I think we can all do. Apparently, people can have certain preferences for these shards.
Kind of like the gummies. Gummies.
It's more, people are drawn to certain colors of these shards.
Oh. Ah.
So I
Okay.
thought maybe we could do a fun activity and see which color ends up, or which colors end up being each person's preference.
Verdon writes out, so you want to do a science experiment and you're labeling it as fun to get us to get involved.
Oh, come on. It is fun, though. It would be fun, though. But
Aquarelle
yeah.
will just shrug. Heck.
How would your experiment work?
Well, it'd be in Shia's house, and I would place a cloth over each one and have you come in one by one. And you would take
And see
the one.
which one we're drawn to. Well, we don't know the actual color of it.
Yep.
Verdon writes out, I assume after multiple rounds.
Yep. I was thinking 3 trials.
That does make sense. Sounds like a sound experiment.
So would you like to do it?
You get another shrug from Aquarelle. Come.
Also shrugs.
Elva gives a thumbs up.
Shia, is it okay if we do that in your house?
By all means.
Probably
As
gonna
she's
need
going as she's going to be looking over and hearing something, a bell in the distance. That's
Verdon writes out, is that the Showtime bell?
that's the merchant bell.
The what bell?
That's the merchant bell.
The one from earlier?
Yeah. He only shows up every once in a while, though.
Should we go see?
Or
Detour?
I
Sorry,
imagine-
Pyroclast.
I imagine we're leaving Giratina in Shia's house.
yeah. And Noah's staying by,
Aw,
obviously.
spending
Yeah.
time with his dad.
Yeah.
His not worm dad. This might be the first time Noah's seeing him with legs.
So, Dad, you got legs now, huh? Yep. Neat.
You
Okay.
also have legs. Yep. I could stop having legs. I can do the same. Neat.
like father, like son.
Just extremely awkward around each other. But their parting was, by Giratina's own admission, tossing Noah like a baseball.
I have a feeling that Noah's not going to be upset by this, though.
I
You are
don't think so. I don't think so either. Oh, to the merchant.
If we're all going, that means the merchant can see Ahishia with her actual lover.
Say that again.
I said if we're all going, then the actual.
You are cutting in and out, so all I heard was, if we're all going,
Yeah,
How's my net acting up again?
yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah, hang on, let me see.
Point Aquarelle was trying to get across was if we all come along, then the merchant gets to see Shia's real lover.
Ah.
Ah. Hmm.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
I believe it was a Lurantis.
Yes.
Yes.
Testing?
Yep.
Testing.
Is that better? Am I still sounding? I
Yes.
mean,
You're better.
Yeah, better.
We can hear an entire word from you.
So, the merchant is indeed back much sooner than expected.
Wow.
well, Akaro particularly won't say much. She'll just has let Shia do the talking.
So, I see you're back much sooner than expected. Indeed. Well, you understand that until I get your equipment, you cannot take new orders. So, once that became news, I began getting pressured by a great many people, actually, to please hurry up with. And a few threats. Ah. I apologize? No, it's quite alright. In the end, I did manage to get some of them to sponsor me to hurry up. So every crisis is an opportunity. Know it. So then you've got everything you have. With that, he's going to start unloading the cart. As there is box upon box upon crate upon crate.
Seems like your business is quite lucrative.
As he got her even new table.
Whoa.
I guess as Akaro will start helping her carry boxes as and stuff if it seems too bit much.
What was the name of the merchant again?
I think it was Hartwig.
Hartwig. Hey Hartwig, what do you have what are you selling right now, if you don't mind me asking? Besides just bringing she added stuff that she needed.
Oh, I've got all manner of things, actually.
Oh,
Mostly daily life necessities and that sort. But
Ah.
I'm a special orders individual. You tell me what you need, and I go retrieve it. However, I do have quite the selection of regular commodities as well.
Do you have Okay, this might sound a bit weird, but do you perhaps have a necklace that do you perhaps have access to jewelry that could be jewelry like a necklace like that could be put into a wailord?
Beg pardon?
Jewelry like a necklace that could be put onto a wailord.
Now that is indeed a very peculiar request. However, while I do not have something like that on hand, he is looking over to Shia. One jeweler just so happened to get their tools back.
Ah, that is true.
So are you going to be making a special order for
Yes.
Waylord?
Yes.
I must admit, I am dreadfully curious.
Yeah, I specifically want to get a necklace made for a warlord and one that matches it, but is for a much smaller creature, like an Eevee.
Huh. Well, okay then.
That character, you're absolutely adorable, and if you ever argue with me on that, I have this moment to point out to prove you wrong.
I have to agree with Era here. This is very adorable.
Oh, thank you.
So I guess let's start getting set up then. As it seems that Squirrel may get his jewelry lesson yet.
Woohoo!
Excellent.
As there's going to be a very, very, very large order.
Well, we got a couple of days.
Yes. However, if it's jewelry for Giratina size, these links are gonna have to be pretty hefty, actually.
They have to be precious metal.
Not necessarily.
There was a bunch of
No.
titanium, remember?
Correct. So they might end up using the forge instead of Shia's tools.
That is kind of funny, but yeah. I mean, it would be required whether it's a Whaler or Giratina, just because of how big they are.
Yes. So everyone helps carrying all this stuff back
Yes.
and unpacking it in the former shop. But as they come back, Giratina has a question.
Oh,
If I may, why is my son across this entire planet?
you cut out there when you said, "Why is my son?"
Why is my son spread across the entire planet?
Why is your son spread across the entire planet?
Yes,
is that what you
was
said?
the question.
Aquarelle will process this for a moment, and then he'll remember Noah's shadow.
Vernon writes out, do you want the easy explanation or the complicated one?
I could take either.
The Verdant version is, as he writes it out, he has friends in many places and is able to toss his shadow all the way over there to be with them so that way he could be with us while being with them. Thumbs up. The more complicated version requires that one to talk, points at Elva.
Okay, then I'm going to be explaining it as I see it. As he is going to like tap on the ground and then tap on the wall and say like, I see Noah there, points at Noah. Here, taps on the floor, but admittedly much thinner. Taps on the wall here, points at the ceiling, and there. The only thing that he is not doing is covering people. And when there is light shined upon it, direct light, it is inert. But if it is in a shaded spot, it is active.
Nora, are you consciously doing this?
And I am confused as to why he is not experiencing sensory overload.
Verdant writes out, is this how you've been making your brain not do the brain thing?
Do the what now?
Verdant writes out, or Verdant just taps on the page since it's written out. Is this how you're doing the thing where you don't think?
I don't understand the question.
Are you intentionally spreading yourself out like this, Noah? Or is this something you're not? Or is this something that's happening without your knowledge?
The letter, maybe?
Do you think you could stop doing that?
Maybe? As Aquarelle can now begin to remember times when Noah would respond very loudly to someone who had said something about him in the castle, but that person was explicitly very far away from him.
Oh, wait. Is
You
this
just see Aquarelle deflate a bit.
wait? No, is this how Noah is able to alert us of people coming by because he's just everywhere?
Smile. That's how I do transportation, because I was already there.
How long have you been doing that?
I don't know.
Noah, you probably should stop doing things that you don't know that you're doing them, or at least attempt to.
But it's useful, I think.
I mean, it is useful, but is it doing any damage to you? I can't imagine being able to feel things from everywhere all the time at the same time. How are you? How do you like Lord Giratina said? How do you not have sensory overload?
As Giratina is going to just put a hand on top of him as if checking for something. Oh. You've made a filter.
You've made a what?
He's made a mental filter.
Oh. Yes. Ah.
He is explicitly tuning out everything until his name is mentioned.
I see. Well, I guess that makes sense, but...
I don't always do that. Sometimes I'm asked to watch people. Then I have to look at them and be here at the same time, and it's very disorienting. I walk into walls.
Aquarelle's just going to dig around for his copy of Noah's Notes and just pass them to Garatina. Okay. By the way, you might want to look into those.
Perhaps
Holds
I'd
up
better.
a warning. Burden will hold up a warning sign that says "Read with caution."
You see...
Now, are these the revised notes or the original notes?
The revised of Aquarelle's copy.
Okay, then you have discarded, taken out, or destroyed the ones that were just innately abhorrent.
No, they're definitely there. If anything,
Yep.
they're probably easier to notice because Aquarelle marked those.
Yeah, Elba is going to say when he sees Aquarelle handing those notes to Giratina. Well, I suppose you ought to know about this. Unfortunately, Shia was not. Unfortunately, she kind of Noah was taken away from her, and you see, Noah being in the state that he is, he's kind of being not living a good life for a while, to say it mildly.
Very mildly. There's a hint of red in Aquarelle's eyes.
There's a hint of there is sadness. There is sadness in Elvis's face.
He is examining these notes slowly. But you can watch his face distorting.
And this is where we all hear the slow ticking of a time bomb about to go off.
I mean, out of character, you're the one that did. You're the one that gave them to him.
Though Aquarelle was going to let him know about it regardless.
Yeah. I mean, he ought to know, but at the same time, we gotta keep in mind that he is a god. I think there's just a heavy silence going in the place while Giratina is reading the notes.
I'm going to need a very long conversation as he is going to grab Shia and start taking her to another room and say, like, I'm going to need to hear everything from the beginning.
Uh-oh.
Well, now's a good time for Pyroclast S mini session.
Yeah, Pyroclast is gonna go to the warehouse and get some shards and come back.
Elba is just looking mortified. You know, this is something that we were going to have to tell him. We were going to have to explain how Noah is like this, but now I'm kind of afraid. You know, I mean, he is a god after all.
That is true. Well, at the very least, he's able to tell that we're not his enemies here. And I don't think he would have appreciated us keeping it quiet about that.
That is true. I mean, one of the main reasons why we decided to go to do this entire thing was to get Noah away from the people that were abusing him. So
Verdon holds up a sign that says, "Whatever happens to the good queen, she deserves."
still, though, I suppose she did ended up abusing Noah to hell and back. But I'm still kind of curious about something, because she had told us earlier that apparently former Guildmaster Colty was the one that told her about Noah being here, and that she could do all and that she could do things with him.
Verdon writes out, "Colty stepped down, didn't he?"
That's
Well,
that's what I said. Former Guildmaster Colty.
we can question him after the madness is over, yes? If we
Yes,
find him.
yes, definitely.
Aquarelle nods. So, Pyroclast distraction.
Time for the thanks for the experiment. What Giratina gets Angie.
Yeah. So Pyroclast is gonna be coming back with the 4 different colored shards. I believe they're blue, green, red, and yellow.
That is correct.
So, how this is gonna work is that each one of you will come in one at a time, and then pick the ones you're drawn to. I don't know if there's a max limit of how many you can be drawn to, but from what I remember, it's 2. At least from what I have in my memories. So let's just go with the 2 most you're drawn to.
Thank you.
And
Okay.
he's gonna
What are we... I think my ADHD might have gotten the better of me, and I missed... What are we selecting here?
Pyro went and got the 4 colored charts to see which ones were to people's preference.
Ah, okay.
What should we do then? Should we like throw 4-sided dice to see which one we end up getting?
Oh, there are reasons.
Oh, okay.
Because, well, who wants to go first?
Yeah, and Pyro's placing a cloth over each of the piles and basically playing the game where he's swapping them around a whole bunch so you don't know which one is which. Or he's just sending you outside for a bit.
Well, anything Aquarelle can go first. You can just continue
All right.
alphabetically.
Aquarelle, after putting his hand over each one, feels an ever so slight inclination towards yellow and red.
Well, no. Taking the 2 shards Birdseed's picked, he just holds them in front of Pyroclast. That's supposed to mean something to you or anything?
We'll see as it continues. A lot of these shards are still kind of a mystery. Plus, this is more of a wind down activity.
Yeah, that's probably necessary.
So, you can put the shards back, and I'll have the next person come in.
Okay, Aquarelle will do so, and then he'll take his leave.
Which would be Elva.
Okay. Elva's gonna approach.
Alright, Elva would be more inclined toward blue and green.
Blue and green. Blue and green. I do like the color, bro.
Huh. Those are the ones I had as preferences.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Alright, put the shards back, and you can choose who comes in next, Lap or Vex.
Which one wants to go first?
Vex.
Okay, go ahead, Bex.
Grabs yellow and red immediately.
Pyroclast is not sure if he should ask for the shards back from him.
Which is strange because he likes green, actually. You know this.
Huh.
Especially with that green gemstone incident.
That's true. Huh.
That's interesting. Alrighty. Vex, can you grab Lap now?
Now, Lap can approach them himself. Go ahead, Lap.
Lap doesn't feel a particular inclination towards any of them. So after like 30 seconds of not really doing anything, he just like, I don't know, these, as he picks up blue and yellow.
Did you feel anything towards those specifically, Lap?
I don't know.
It seemed confused.
You know, according to my memories, Edge didn't really have any inklings toward any of them either. So,
Oh, so that's also a possibility. I see.
yeah. I'm still gonna note down what Lap grabbed, but it definitely is a possibility. All right. Next would be. Hey, Edge, do you want to give it a try? Or.
Sure, I'll try again. As he doesn't seem to. As he also doesn't seem to be particularly inclined towards one or the other, but he does want to be a contrarian, so he takes green and red.
Okay. And the squirrel is next.
Squirrel's gonna go in. What colors are there?
Red, yellow, blue, and green.
But you're not picking them while looking at them. Their cover.
Ah.
You're seeing which ones your hands are drawn to. Your hands are slightly drawn towards blue and green.
Okay. He'll go up to those. Or grab them, I guess. And probably want to keep them. But he'll leave them. Unless he's supposed to.
Huh. This is getting interesting. Seems there's two sets that people grab so far. Yellow and red, or blue and green.
You have a god. If you would care to ask, if you would care to risk asking a question of him.
The god is busy currently. I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
He is pseudo interrogating Shia at the moment.
Poor Shia.
Yeah. He would have loved to include Shia in this, but nope.
Hey, it'll probably be a good distressor or when Zensky routine is done.
Alrighty, Scroll, can you fetch Verdant?
Sure. He'll go out and send in Verdant.
Oh boy. I guess Verdant will pick. Hello?
Really?
Did we lose Enja?
Sorry. What was that?
Verdant's turn.
I guess I got
yes.
sent in.
Alright. Verdant's turn. An easy inclination towards yellow and red.
So the same as the same as Vex.
Yep.
Abstain.
And
He
same as
wants green.
Aquarelle.
Yep.
What do you said? What do you say, Ra?
He wanted the green.
Hey, Verdant. Is Noah around?
Is Noah around, Enja?
Noah is with Giratina.
Shakes his head no, and then writes out with his dad.
I mean, you could bring them both in. You could.
Verdant
Nah.
writes, I can get them both. Do you want them both?
No. Not really right now. Alrighty. Trial 2. Then Pyro's gonna send Verdant back outside and then mix the piles again. And then call in Aquarelle.
Okay, Aquarelle will come in, and he just mutters, "Oh right, this is being done multiple times."
Your hands seem drawn to the same pieces.
I admittedly am curious about what this means.
Yeah.
Though at the moment it seems beyond my understanding.
Alright, Aquarelle, can you send Elva in?
All right. Aquarelle will return the shards to Pyro, and go to fetch Alpha.
Elba excitedly goes over to the shards and will pick some.
Same. Blue and green.
So it is true.
This is definitely interesting. Because Aquarelle grabbed the same ones he grabbed before as well.
So it is true what you mentioned before.
Yeah, they have some intrinsic property, it seems. Alright, I guess since we called in Vex first last time, can you call in Lap?
Sure. Hey Lap, can you go and try and see if you feel anything with the rocks again?
Sure. He is going to wave his hand over them, and he is not getting any particular inclination. But this time he gets red and blue. Whoop! Hello.
Different is it? They're different this time.
Yeah. I wonder why Edge and Laps are sort of like this.
wonder too. Do you know why? Do you have any idea why certain people are drawn towards certain shards?
Enja, should I make a roll on that?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you and I are apparently attracted to the same one. Beggs and his dad are attracted to the same one, even if it's not their favorite color.
Yeah, so what should the roll be?
Hmm. What about a science check since it is an experiment?
Okay, mind, logic, science. Any bonuses?
Yes. You can get additional dice.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna use my last soul since it's near the end.
Yeah.
Hey! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
All right. It does seem that there are two sets that and that they complement each other in some way. That much is evident, but potentially, though though it's a bit rough, maybe they are opposing values.
Huh.
Something that is shared between Elva and Squirrel, and then something else that is shared between Aquarelle, Vert, and Faye. Elva, Squirrel, and Pyro.
Huh. It's... From what
There
I'm
must be
gathering...
similarity.
What I'm gathering, it seems like... It's opposing values.
Opposing values? What do you mean?
He's gonna show the results, what he has so far on everyone, which has Pyro as blue-green, Squirrel as blue-green, Elva as blue-green twice, because of the trials.
Mhm.
And then Aquarelle is yellow-red. And then Vex is yellow and red. And Verdant as yellow and red.
Huh. That's
Hmm.
interesting. But what exactly do you mean by opposing values then, when it comes to the rocks being selected?
I feel like their sets being attracted to certain aspects. But I don't know what those aspects would be.
Ah. Well, I guess that would make sense when it comes to Bex and Burden. I mean, they are father and son. Even if they just recently met, they do have similarities. I don't. I would wonder what would that be for Aquarelle though.
Yeah.
Elva and Pyro, make me a perception check based on hearing.
Oh, Elba is perceptive today.
Oh,
My God.
Science is
Quag.
involved.
The
Science
Quag is aware and awake.
6. 7, 8, 9.
7 perception.
Oh, are you not using the new character sheet?
Huh?
The new character
There's a new-
sheet is technically not live yet.
Oh, okay.
It'll go live on the 1st, but people are welcome to use it now.
Ah, fair.
Ah. Okay, noted.
I took some look at it myself. Elva, you hear something. It's Vex. Come on, he's doing a thing. It's over here.
Eva blinks, and he moves his head towards the direction of where he hears that voice. Bex?
Hi. He is holding Noah.
Oh. Oh. Wait, Bex, why do you have Noah with you? He was with Loki and Tina for a moment there.
Yes, and then I took him.
You went in there?
Yes.
Is she okay?
She looks like she's gonna turn into a statue, but yes.
Okay, she looks she's gonna turn into a what?
She looks like she's gonna turn into a statue, but yes.
Oh. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Why did you decide to go there though?
We're doing a thing.
Oh. You didn't want Noah to be left out. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Actually, that is actually really nice of you, Bex. Good job.
He wasn't doing anything in there.
However, it would have been nice for you to have let him know first.
Oh, okay. I'll go tell him.
Wait. Elba's about to say to wait, but Bex is gone before he does.
Fiorentino doing experiment. You want to come see us?
Oh boy. So, sorry to interject. Am I going to be needed? I'm starting to fall asleep. I might go.
You're fine. I think we can wrap it up pretty soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we should be
Sorry.
wrapping up very soon.
Pyroclast just
No.
having a claw over his face.
It's amazing how how comfortable Bex is just walking up to a god.
He is his father's son. Truly. Okay, I'll turn. I'll be right over.
I better go explain things before it gets out of control, because, yeah.
Oh. Oh, that was Era.
Yeah, I think I just left. He was probably falling asleep.
Yeah, that's
I'll
fair.
be right back. And Pyroclast is gonna go over to Vex and explain to Giratina what they're doing, so he doesn't have to be concerned.
Giratina does listen and then just looks over to the room. Oh, I see. Okay. That is an interesting experiment to try and determine one's baser nature.
Baser nature?
Yes. Are you unaware?
I figured out these shards have like 2 sets, it seems, but I didn't. What is it exactly they're doing? Because you seem to know something.
Of course, I'm aware of what those are. Those shards are. And he's going to pause, but then elect to continue. Well, your experiment is, as of this moment, informing you if someone's inclined towards creation or destruction.
Oh. Those would definitely be 2 opposing sides.
Yes. Now, the combination of those 2 sides, depending on the order, could lead to any number of results. But separated, yes, 2 colors are more leaning towards creation, and the others are leaning towards destruction.
There was also something kind of odd. Two of us don't seem to have any inkling toward either set.
People can be neutral as well.
Ah, that would make sense, too.
They are
And
either
Pyrus...
neutral or they are balanced.
Huh. Pyra's tail is swaying a little faster than usual.
Oh. Has this knowledge pleased you? It's pass it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Not a problem.
And he's gonna run back to Elva.
Are you alright, Paro?
Yeah. It seems Giratina knows something a bit more about these shards.
Oh. Did he said something to you about them?
Yeah, and it helps me explain a little bit why we're in different sets.
Oh, do tell.
Apparently, one set is leaned towards creation, the other destruction.
Oh, that's intriguing. Actually, I
And
suppose.
oh, go ahead.
Actually, that does kind of make sense, but when you put it that way, that's concerning.
I can see why you think that.
Elba, Elba nuts.
What the concern?
I mean, his main concern is specs.
But yeah, apparently, I can assume that blue and green is creation, given squirrel.
Yeah, that does make sense. Even if he does like fighting, he also rather enjoys his blacksmithings.
And that would mean yellow and red is
Destruction. And what about
yeah.
Lap and Edge?
Apparently neutral. They don't
Ah,
belong to either side.
I see. Interesting. Huh? I wonder why these rocks are capable of detecting such a thing then. What are these things? Well,
I don't know, but I do know they have the potential to do crazy things.
I can imagine. That's fair enough.
For one, they can create interdimensional portals if used in a certain way.
All right, you mentioned that last time. Hmm.
Yeah. If the wrong people sort of knew this information. Oh boy.
Yeah, that's definitely not something that should be given to the wrong hands. Like, could you imagine if those invaders that were apparently trying to invade our world had their hands on these things?
Who's to say they don't?
Actually, yeah. They do had needed a way for us to invade our world after all. Hmm. Perhaps they do. Perhaps they do have. Perhaps they do have access to these shards. Perhaps not many, since it seems like their invasions have been kind of halted thus far.
Yeah. But still, if Squirrel knew about the creation side of these shards, I'm sure he'd have a field day.
You think so? You know,
To think that.
and you know, I think you may be able to teach Squirrel a lot of stuff once you have gotten more of your memory back, perhaps.
Probably. Still, I think we can call the experiment here.
Yeah. Sounds like a good. Sounds good. Eh, it was fun doing that for a while. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, it definitely was. Hey guys, you can come in now.
Squirrel comes in. So, can I take it now?
Next. Yeah, Kimmy!
Well, first of all, he's gonna show all of them the results.
Interesting.
I am the destroyer!
What?
Is what. They're the color of fire. He's going to look proud of himself. Well, not my normal fire.
Although, is Noah with them?
He is present. As Noah never actually took the test.
Hey Noah, do you wanna
Yes.
do this real quick?
He's looking over at the shards. Slowly reaching forward. He picks up yellow. And he picks up red. These ones. They look delicious. Like a candy.
No, those aren't edible.
Well,
This one looks like a strawberry. It's like honey.
hey Noah, can you
Yes.
go outside for a minute?
Oh, okay.
And I'll call you back in a minute.
You then remember that Noah is everywhere. And hiding things from him may not be quite so easy.
Oh, shoot.
Well, yeah,
He
but
still never got a memory.
letting him forget that it was a thing, even in the first place, is easy.
Yeah. So Pyro's gonna move them around. Alright, Noah, you can come back in.
Okay. What are we doing?
Pick from which pile. Pick from 2 piles you feel drawn to.
He leans forward mouth first towards one of the piles.
Paw.
Reluctantly, he taps the red pile with a paw.
And what's his second pile?
He'll take his time determining before touching yellow again. But he really wants to bite.
Alright. Go outside one more time, and then I'll call you back in.
Okay.
And Pyro's gonna mix the piles again. All right, Noah, come back in.
He comes back in. Am I touching the tasties again?
Yeah.
Damn it, he remembered this time.
Oh, yeah. Feel. Well, even if. Put your paw on the ones you feel most drawn to.
He touches the same ones.
All right, you can eat those two shards.
Ah.
Squirrel is looking offended.
Pyroclast, you're getting a very irritated look from Aquarelle.
He said one shard from each.
There are piles.
Oh.
Squirrel
But
is still
Noah
looking
will
offended.
restrain himself and only eat 2. Munchkin. Okay, now you have one. Which ones did you want? Pyro, answer carefully, or Noah may try to feed you these shards.
Those are inedible to me.
Oh no. But they are crunchy and delightful.
Yeah, I can't eat those.
Hey guys,
But you-
hi.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry, I was gonna say that I gotta get ready to head to bed, but you can finish this scene. But I just gonna go. But it was it was fun, guys. I really enjoyed this session.
Yes. Alright, we should wrap it up here then.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
guys.
Good night. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today for Lost in Chaos Scar. Check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We've got links for our Discord, Telegram, Mastodon, Blue Sky, Patreon, and more. They're on the website as well as down in the description below through our link tree. Thank you to my patrons, tippers, and subscribers. It is your support that keeps this channel alive and going. I cannot do this without your guys' help and your support, so thank you. Consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/zgfgaming. It's one of the best ways to support the channel, though you can also do so by sharing the stream around, as well as coming by, hanging out, picking up packs of cards to stream loots, subscribing to our YouTube, or grabbing some merch over at zgfgaming.store. But for now, thank you all so much for joining, and I bid you the most fondest adieu.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.